welcome to this 6th gear. In this episode, which is a bit more lengthy than usual, I'm going to test a number of hatchbacks and which are quite small and cheap and yet fun to drive. And we start with the, I think, sensational Mini Cooper S. Engine producing 167 brake horsepower, which is a lot if you think that this car just weighs 1100 kilograms. So it is pretty fast. It does 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds. We go through the Dunlop chicane. It just feels so much alive and so light, and it's all coming together. The lightness, the torque, the power. The great thing about the Mini is that it's just so easy to drive, and could drive the Mini very fast, no problem at all. It's a fun car. But there are some drawbacks. That is not really a practical car what you're seeing there. The Mini may be fun to drive and it may be small, so easy to park. But when you have parked outside a shop or anywhere where you might need to take luggage, you'll find that the boot just isn't big enough for anything. And when you are in the car, it doesn't really feel like the most spacious thing in the world, and I can't imagine those rear seats having any legroom at all. So for a real car, is the Mini anything at all? That's where this comes in, the Alfa Romeo 147. And I think, personally, it's a prettier car than a Mini. But it doesn't have any of the drawbacks, because it doesn't have to be an icon. It has a big boot. It's much bigger than a Mini, so you can actually put something in it. Don't, however, be tricked for 1 minute into thinking that this just is some kind of compromise. This is the 2-litre twin-spark TI model of the 147, and it produces 147 brake horsepower. Add to that it's a bit heavier than the Mini because it's bigger. And yes, it is a little bit slower, quite a lot slower in fact, but listen to this. It sounds like a V6. It's not that actually quick, but it sounds amazing. Also, this interior is much more discreet than it is in a Mini, and it's more spacious. corners, you'll notice that it's really a nice handling car as well. It's not as precise or as delicate as the Mini, but it's just a good handling thing. I want you to simply listen to it and look at it. It's an Alfa Romeo. Though, with the Alpha, is they charge 3,000 credits, which is about the same as €1, I think, more for the Alpha, when it's got less torque, when it's less powerful, and it's also heavier. So what you end up with is a slower car for a good price more, a good overprice. And then there's another problem with this car. This is the Alpha's biggest problem, the Citroën C4 Coupe. And let's not be stupid and mock Citroën, shall we? Because this just is a good looking car. It's just, and would you look at this interior, it feels so much more classy than the Alpha. And then there's the power, 177 brake horsepower. That's more than the Mini and the Alpha. It is a bit heavier, but it's a fine alternative. You might imagine that because it's a little bit heavier, it isn't as delicate to drive either of the cars I've just reviewed. But it is 177 brake. It's just an unpowerful car in the morning. And it's, well, it's really not a nice handling car. It just doesn't feel as nice. But when you're not going to be handling C4 next to the Alpha and the Mini, it's a fine alternative. Although you can see by the coupe line that the boot isn't so big and doesn't really have the most amount of space in the back, although there are 5 seats in this. But really, a small boot for so much money, who would